Hello Jazz, here. In this video, let's learn how to create a modern villa in Revit. I will show you my workflow and the way that I approach to these kind of villas or models for our Revit projects. Okay, the first part of the modeling, if you don't have the exact in your mind, is to find a reference. The best place to find a reference is in my opinion, is ArcDaily, which will give access you to lots of information about the one project. For example, for this one, we have lots of images about the plans and all of those things. You can scroll down. I cannot download all of the images. I will put all of them in my Patreon page too. And these are the teams that have been involved for this project. Now let's model this in Revit. Most of the projects that exist out there for the reference, especially in ArcDaily, they have plans too. For example, let me bring the plans in here, and they have a scale bar here, so you can easily scale them and start to model according to them. So let's go to the level 1, and let's bring the image. Just drag the image in here, and let's scale it properly. Let's select it, and let's scale it from here to here. It should be 1 meter. Now it is scaled properly. Let me bring it out and let me give these elevations a little bit more space, maybe like this, and let's bring it in here. Now we're good to go, but before doing anything, make sure to I usually pin the reference because I don't want to move it accidentally. And after that, because I don't want to select the reference time and time, I will turn off the pin selection in here. So now we have it as a reference under the model, and now we can start modeling. Okay, that's great, but before that I have to do something else to find my levels. To do that, I have some sections of this project and they have scales too. So we can just bring it in here, and let's put it in here, and let's scale it properly. Again, let's scale it maybe like this, and that's 1 meter. Now let's place, for example, I want to consider this part as my 0, so this part's gonna be the minus levels and underground levels, and this one should be my top level. So let's bring it in here, and let's adjust it in here. It's not going to be exact, but it's gonna have a good precision. Now let me bring the levels out, and this next thing that I want to do is to pin this one too, to avoid moving it accidentally. And now that's great. And now I have the first level for me, and let's move the second level. All of the time you have to put the levels at the higher part of the floor, because the floors usually put their thickness below them, so it will be much more convenient. And now for this one and for this one, I'm not going to create a level. I'm just going to have them in here, and I will use base offset and top offset for their different height or for lower parts. So right now I don't want to create one, but let's create one for this part maybe. Let me copy this and let's bring it in here, and let's call it, I don't want any view for it. Let me give it an elbow. That's great. And let's call it maybe lower level. For the sake of the video, let's put the scale on maybe 150. Let's make the elbow a little bit bigger like this. And for this one, let's call it ground. Yes, please. And now for this one, let's call it roof maybe. And that's great. We can create a level for parapet too, but it depends on you. Let's create one for that too. But I don't create them as building levels. I just use them as reference levels, and I don't want any view for them. So make sure to create them like this to prevent from any additional views that you won't work in the future, and you just need them as references for your modeling. Let's call it properties. Okay, that's fine. And now let's go to the ground part, and let's just measure the thickness in here, and let's create a default wall in here. it's about maybe 30 centimeter. I'm going to work 30 centimeter for the outside walls or external walls, and for the interior walls I'm going to put them at 10. So let's just go to the wall and let's use generic here, because I'm not going to create detailed sections of it, just to model it in a schematic phase. So let's just find generic 30 maybe in here. Now let's start to model. You can use any wall location line method, but for me right now I'm going to finish face exterior. And now let's create the model in here, and it's gonna be a little bit repetitive, so some of the parts I will cut some of the parts, and I will explain the most important parts in here. I just created some walls in here. Let's change the color of them because I want to be able to differentiate them from the picture. Let's go to the walls, and for the cut pattern, let's give them maybe a solid fill, and maybe because the reference is black, we have to work with other color. Maybe let's put it on this color, and let's make it a little bit more dark, maybe a little bit lighter, right? And there, now we have the walls in here, but because we don't know anything about these parts right now, we have to see some other images. Let me bring the images, because this part is the front of the ear. We've created these walls in here. We have to create a wall in here, and now we need a wall in here. And even for the door parts and windows, we have to place the walls, and we are going to embed them in our project. So in here, and we need to just bring this one to here, a little bit higher. Now let's create a similar with CS for it, and now let's press a space. I want to have it like this, and now we have a wall in here. Now that's for the exterior parts. I'm not going to create the interior parts right now in this project, but I will create them, because in some of the views that you may have, for example, let me show you the image. You will see some interior walls, and it can make your model much more beautiful, I think, even if you don't want to model the interior details. But before that, let's select all of the walls, and let's bring them from ground to maybe a roof for now, and then we will create the propped walls at the end. And now let's put the top constraint on roof, and now we are good to go for our basic part, and that's great. And let's go to the 3D, and let's select all of the levels. But before that, let's put the scale on 150, and let's select all of them and maximize 3D extend to adjust the levels according to the model that you have. Okay, that's great. And now let's create some interior walls. I will speed up this process. Now let's start to create the main floor for these areas, for this part, and then we will create the floors for the outside parts or outer parts, because we have different materials. I prefer to create different floors for each part. But for here, in inner side, in here and in here, I like to create a floor before doing anything, because it will give you more context about the project. Let's create a floor in here, and let's just pick walls in here. And for in here, I don't want to extend to wall cores, and let's select the walls, maybe one in here. In here, I can use tab, but because it's not that general shape, so it is better to pick some of them. And if it picked the wrong side, you can easily change it. Let's turn off the thin line to see the lines better in here. And now let's do some trimming. And for the floor thickness, I'm going to go with 15 centimeters right now. And now let's see the results. We have something like this. In 3D, I usually put the background on gradient, and for the shadows, let's turn them on 2. and go to the lighting and bring the shadows to a lower number to be able to work better. And this is it for this part. And now let's exactly copy this part, or let's see some images maybe to see what's happening in here. I want to see what's happening in here. And here you can see we have the roof in here too, so we can just copy the roof in the roof level. Let's just copy to clipboard, align to selected level. Let's bring it in roof. Now the next thing we can do is to attach all of these walls to the roof. Now we can work better. Let's attach it to attach the walls to here. Now we have a parapet too, which we can say is all over the place. You can see it is from here and in here and in here. But maybe you understood right now that we have extra roof in here, so we need to bring that. We need to modify the roof. Maybe we have to delete this and we have to trim these two. And now let's click on finish, and now we are good to go. And for the we have these floors in here, but as I said, because there are some different materials, I prefer to create separate floors for here in comparison with the interior parts. Okay, that's great. Let's place some parapet walls too. We can easily just select this and let's go with the peak line, and let's put the elevation from roof to parapet, and that's fine. For the location line, it's great. Now we can create some walls in here to have our parapets. You can see in here we don't see the edge of the floor in here, so the thing that we need to do is to bring the floor to an interior side of the wall, and then we have to give it a minus offset to our floors. Let's go to the edit floor. Now let's select. We can't do that, so let's just create an offset from it. Let's put it on 30, and let's uncheck the copy and press tab, and now we offsetted all of them. Click on finish, and I know delete target, no worries. And for these parts, for the walls that are in our parapet level, we have to select them and we have to bring them down. But before that, because we've brought the interior walls in here, we can't see the edge because some of the walls that has been attached right now doesn't have any target, so they are not attached properly. So let's select some of them. Now for these outer walls, we have to give them a minus 50 offset. Now that's great. And now for the parapet walls, let's give them a minus base offset to fill this space in here. I give them 15 meter. We have to give them 15 centimeter. Now that's great. We don't see any line between them right now, but when we change the materials, we can see more and more. That's the main shape of the building, and now it's time that we can add some windows and doors to it. For example, let's go to see the front view. I have a big door in here. Let's make it, let's do this with the curtain wall. We can use embed curtain wall really easily. Let's go to the ground part. Now the thing that I want to do is to put the model on wireframe, and again we can't see it, so it is better to select the element to see the amount that you have to place those doors there. Let's go to the walls, and let's go with curtain walls. I want to place a curtain wall without mullion or grids because I want to customize it myself. Now let's select it. Let's go to the edit type and make sure this option is turned on, because it will embed the curtain wall in the masonry or concrete wall that you have in here. Let's check this on, and now let's create a wall in here from these ports, and now let's bring it somewhere around here. Now we have it in here, and also let me extend this wall to here. Now we are good to go. Let's go to the 3D, and now we have the curtain wall in here. I can put the model unshaded for you to see it better. Now we need some grids and mullions. Before doing anything, let's create a grid at the middle of it. I want it be a little like this, and that's fine. We didn't have any horizontal mullion, so I'm not going to add any. And now let's go to mullion. For mullions, I'm going to add this rectangular mullions, and let's put all grid in here. And now we have the mullions. But before doing anything, let's go to the mullion part, and let's give them a black material, because we have a black aluminum material in here. Let's create a new material. Let's call it black frame. I'm going to use this material in here. I'm not going to render it, so I'm not going to bother myself. And now for the shading, the black is good. And for the hidden part, I want to give it a solid, and this color we have in here, or even a little bit lighter for the hidden line mode. Because for the schematic models, I usually use hidden lines to get the final result for myself. Now let's put it on hidden line mode again. Now we have to attach it to this roof in here. Yeah, we have to delete some elements in here, but you can see we don't have any mullion in here. So instead of attaching, sometimes for curtain walls you have to bring them manually down. It's a little bit annoying sometimes. Now the next step is to give it a door in here. We don't have any curtain wall door in here, so let's load it. Let's load some curtain walls in here. Library, English, and let's go to the doors. We can use this one for now, but you can find much better doors on the internet. Let's select this one and let's bring it in. Now let's select this one and let's change the panel to our door that we brought in. Let's put the detail level on fine to see the panel we have. Okay, that's fine for me. Now the next, we have some small windows in here. Because it's a repetitive task, I'm not going to do it right now, but I think the best method is to use curtain walls in here, because these are not windows, these are just you can use windows too, but I think curtain walls are much faster. The way that I approach this part is to go to the ground part. Let's go to the wall again, and let's select the curtain wall, and let's pick our curtain wall from here to here. And now all of the parts are curtain wall, but you have the ability to select the curtain wall, and then you have the ability again to do the edit profile. Now that's great. We have 3 and in here we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, let me create a line in here, and now let's create another line in here, and now I want to create 2 other lines. The lengths are not important, and now let's create a dimension between them. The shortcut is DD for me, but DI for you. And now let's select all of them and let's click on equal, and now that's not the part that I want, so I have to move this to the previous location that it was. And now again it's equal, but for this one we have to move it to here. Now we have the places that we want to place. Now we have 7 in here, so I can start from here maybe, and then we can array this one, or we can copy it and do the same thing here. 2 3 4 5 6 7. And now let's create a dimension between them. Now they are equal. Now you can move them to where you want. Now that's fine. I don't want these lines right now. I want them actually. I don't want, okay, everything is fine, and let's bring it up a little bit. Now let's create the, I need another line in here too. Let me add it. Now I'm good to go. Now let's go to, I'm not going to use rectangle because it doesn't give you the ability to create it from center. So let's put it on thin line, and let's go with this polygon in here, and let's put it on 4 sides. That's fine. And now we can create a rectangle in here. I love it in this size. Now I can just select this one and copy it in all of the intersections that we've made. Now let's read all of the auxiliary lines that we've created so far. Now these are the parts that I want to be curtain walls or glasses. Let's click on finish, and now we are good to go with the model that we've created. Let's continue with the door and the windows that we have in here, and in here. Okay, for here, let's just load a door. Maybe let's go to load family. In here, let's find a door in commercial. Maybe this one, and for the frame and for the materials, we can change it later. Let's just bring it in. Let's click on open, and let's bring some of the types that we have. Maybe this one and this one. Let's click on OK. Let's wait a little bit, and let's go to the architecture or press the R for the door shortcut. And now let's place the door in here. And now that's fine. I don't want any, maybe a little bit edge would be right in here, and then we can change the materials later on, but for right now I'm satisfied with the results. And let's go to the image again, and let's place this window and this window and this curtain wall in here. We can use plan 2. Let's go to the ground part, and let's use this. Let's place this window. We have the window in here. We just need to change the materials afterwards. I think it would do the work for us. And let's do some measuring in here for the weight. I think it is 115, and for the height, maybe maybe 60 at the most, or even less, maybe 40 or something like that. Let's go to the window, and let's create a new type, and let's call it 150 by 60. And for the weights, let's put it on 150, and for the height, let's put it on 60. We'll change the materials afterwards, and that's fine. Click on OK. Now let's place the window in here. Let's go to 3D, and let's see the result. It's gonna be much upper. It's gonna be not that much, maybe at the middle of the door. It should go even lower, I think. Maybe in here and a little bit in this side. Okay, that's fine. Now we can change the frame, because I want to see the frame in black in here too. Let's go to the frame part, and let's change it to black frame that we made. And let's just copy it to the other parts that we have. Now we are good to go. And now let's just duplicate it with for here. For the height, it did about with 4 of this, so about maybe 4 times 16. It's gonna give us maybe 2040. It is better to measure it before doing anything, but let me check something else. That's the place that we need, and this is the one. So let's put the measuring in this part. 348. Okay, now let's create a new one. Let's go to the edit type, duplicate 3. Okay, that's fine. Let's place the window in here, then we can move it along the wall in here. Okay, that's fine. And for the, it's too wide, I don't think that's the one that we have. And also for the heights, too high too. We have a few of these in here, maybe 4 of them. Let's move this in here because we have some panels in front of them. I'm not going to model them in this project, but that's how the project is working. Let me show you the picture in here. You can see we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3 in here. and these panels would close any part that you want, maybe this entrance, even the windows or something like that. So let me make the width a little bit even smaller, maybe 2, because I want have lots of them. Let's just copy this from here to here, maybe a little bit upper. Let's just create a copy from it. Let's place it maybe in here. I like it in here. Let's go to 3D, and now we have the thing in here. Now we need to create an entrance for our curtain wall, which is the full height that we have in here. Now let's go to the plan again, and let's create a curtain wall in here. But before that, let me bring this one near to the second window that we have in here, because I want to place curtain wall in here. Let's go to the wall again. Let's select the curtain wall in here. Let's start it from here to here, and that's fine. Let's go to 3D, and for the height, let's go to this view maybe, and for the height I want it under here, and that's fine. But before doing anything, let's place some things for it. Because it's a angled plane, I want to have the perpendicular view of this angle. So there is an option in here. You can orient to a plane, then you can pick a plane. It will give you the perpendicular view of that plane. This is much easier to work right now. Now let's maybe bring all of these a little bit down to make it at the same level of our curtain wall. Now we can bring this one a little bit up, maybe here. Okay, that's fine. Now let's go to the curtain grid. I think we had 4 vertical. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's right. Go to the curtain grid, and now let's place some curtain grids. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you just need to set your work plane on this side, and now let's place some dimensions in here. Now just press equal, and we have all of the parts. Let me see if we have any horizontal part. We can't see any horizontal part right now. Yeah, we don't have any one. Okay, that's right. And now let's go to the mullions again, and let's put all grids in here, and now we have the ones. And for the door, let me see the doors. We have just one in here, so let's select this one maybe, and let's change it to the door that we brought in. And let's press a space 1 and twice to have the door in here, and that's fine for this part. Let's go to the picture again, and now we have these ones in here, and now we have another curtain part in here. So we need to do the same thing in here, because this is the whole part which is curtain wall. I'm not going to embed it again, so I'm just going to switch it to curtain wall. And I'm not saying it in the pictures, but I think I prefer it to be 2 panel curtain walls. Again, let's go to the, if you are not satisfied with this, you can easily create a elevation or section at the exact angle of this. Let me do this. You can align it easily with this. Now you can bring it a little back, and now we can just customize it in your need. And now we have their exact view in here. Let's put it on fine and shade it maybe, and let's put the scale on my maybe 125, and now we have the one. But personally, I love to work in 3D, so I'm going to continue to work on 3D. Let's go to the curtain grid, and let's place a grid in here. Now let's place our mullions, and now I want to replace this one with a door. Let's press a space. Now we have the doors. Maybe let's make it a little bit smaller. Press tab a few times to have the grid, but for the door maybe I would prefer it like this. Okay, that's great. Now we have the doors and windows in here. Let's see some other pictures around the building to see the other windows too. The first one is the full curtain wall that I have in here. Let's go to the top view. In here we have a full curtain wall. Let's go to the ground part, and again, because it's completely curtain wall, I'm not just going to embed it, so I just completely switch it to curtain wall, and don't worry about the join element, and let's go to the 3D part and see the elements in here. Now I'm happy with it, but before doing anything I need 2 curtain grids, one in here. We can create a section box to make our work easier, and now let's just mirror this one by DM around this part. If you had problem with mirroring, make sure to set your work plane to a right part, and now let's press DM and create a mirror in this side. I did the mirroring, but the dimensions are not equal. I'm going to eyeball it. Now that's great. Let's just click on, let me see, we don't have any horizontal one. Let's just place all of the mullions, and I want to place doors for both of them. So let's change this, and let's change this to some doors. And now let's press the space for this one, and now we are good to go. Let's turn off the thing in here. Now let's see what we have in here too. We don't have anything special in around here, but we have some windows in this part, in this part, and this part. We can add them too. We have them in here because this part is a little bit lower than this part, but we can do it without any problem. I can use this one around maybe here. Let me orient our plane, orient our view to this face in here. And now we're good to go. Let's place it on wireframe or even hidden line. Let's see the dimensions that we have. It's a little bit bigger, so let's create a duplicate from it. Let's give it a more height, maybe to 180, and for the height maybe 80, and click on OK. Now let me bring it a little bit here. Now we need another one which is much smaller in here. Let's bring it in here. Just going to use, I'm not going to use this one because I'm going to use the exact one, and then I will change the dimensions of it. I'm happy with this one, and that's fine. I think let's just see some other pictures around the model. We have these sides covered. Now we need to add some floors to give it more context, because we have some floors in here that are in different heights. Let's create a floor for this part which is in exact level with this one. So let's go to the 3D view and let's create similar from this by CS. If you saw this message, you have to set your work plane to a level before that, and CS again, and let's go to the top. Let's go to the ground and let's choose this part to this part. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to 3D. We have the floor in here, and then we have some stairs around here from here to here, and it's gonna have a let's see the pictures, or we can just use our levels. I'm just going to eyeball the height in here. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 risers, 7 by 80, so I have a 126 in here. Okay, that's fine. So let's just create another floor in here, maybe from this part to this part to give it more context. Let's create another floor. Let's create another floor. also we can continue this wall from here, and then we can start to model the stairs that we have. But before that, let's go to 3D to see what's happening in here. And that's fine, I guess. Let's go to the ground again. Let's go to the stairs. I want to use monolithic stairs for this part. And for the height, let's put it on 80. And from the ground to ground, but top offset is gonna be 126. We have to have 7 risers. That's right. And let's just create them. Maybe let's change the location line to run left, and that's fine. But we need to put the actual thread depth on maybe 30, and for the widths maybe put it 120, and I think we are good to go. We had some bug with run left, so let's put it on run center, and then we just move it to the right way. Now that's great, and let's bring it up, or we can use align, which is much more convenient, and we can make it smaller too. And also I don't want any railing for it, so let's put the railing on now, maybe. Okay, and I can copy the upper side in the same stair, so there's no problem with it. Click on finish, and now let's go to 3D, and now we have our stairs in here. But I want another stair, so let's select it, and let's go to the edit type. Let's go to the edit stair, and let's select this one. Let's copy this and paste it again, because and now we have another stair, and I want to do the same thing for this. Control C and Control V again. Now let's bring them a little bit back. That's the detail I want. Let's click on finish. Now we are good to go in for this part too. You can add some details for it. For example, let's go to the ground. We have some walls in here. We can use some 200mm wall, generic walls in here to create some. Let's put the location line on finish face exterior in here, in here. Let's bring it a little bit up. I don't want any clashes between them. And now for the upper side, I'm just going to create something like this in here, and another wall in this part. I'm not going to go to the really details in here, just making it a little bit more interesting. And for the height, let's put it on in here. Let's again align this one with this one, and for this I want a really short part, maybe unconnected, and then 1.2 is too high, maybe 90 or even lower, because I'm just going to place them in here. Maybe let's put it on, let's see the image. Yeah, it is about 45 maybe. Let me delete this one, we don't need it. Or maybe we can do this. Okay, that's fine. And then you can add some other details in this part too. That's just for the context. And now let's go to this part. Let's go to 3D and see the results. If you would see the site, let me change the site to here. We have a wall in here, and then we have one stair in here. We have a kind of a higher floor in here, and these parts are a little bit lower, about maybe one or two riser. So I need to create again another floor for this part. And now that the general region is great, let's just finish it. And now we need to place it a little bit lower than this part. Also, I need to extend this part or create another one for this part. Let me just create it like this, and now that's fine. Click on finish, and for this part I'm going to put it maybe minus 40 or something like that, and then we can have some walls around here, or we can select the walls in here, and all of the sides. Let's give them a minus 42. For the floor, I'm just going to join these together. If you didn't like the join, you can change the order of the join really easily with this to achieve something like this. Now I clean some of the joints in here, and you can create these parts too, and that's the last part that we are going to create in this video, because the other parts that are remaining for the exterior part are just a little bit small working that you have to place to make your work much better. For example, let's go to 3D and let's create another one from this part in here too, something like this, and that's great. I love it. Okay, let's go to 3D, and these are in this exact levels, and you can create some small walls around it, or you can create some sweeps around it to make a fill in here. But before doing anything, let's go to the ground again, and for this part from here to here, I'm going to delete my floor because I need another floor. Let's go select it, and let's go to the ground again, and let's select these parts from here to here maybe, and let's just delete it, and let's create another floor in from here to here, and let's click on finish. Let's go to 3D. Let's bring it minus 90, and we need a stair in here too. Let's go to architecture again, a stair again, monolithic. Let's save the project. You can get the files on our Patreon page. You can find the link in the description. Okay, you can get all of the images and those files and all of the project files that we use on our Patreon page. You can find the link in the description. Okay, let's click on monolithic stair. Now let's create the stair in here. I just want to have it ground to ground with 45 from minus 90 to minus 45. And let's create the stair in here. I want a bigger one. I want another one so I can do the trick in here, but don't worry. Let's make it bigger from here to here, and let's select it, and let's copy this number in here, and let's paste it again, and now we can use align in here, or we need to give it a little bit, maybe a little offset in here, maybe about 50, and that's fine for me. The other parts are not that heavy. It was just a video to show you my my approach to the modeling process. But if you want to watch a full extensive video of modeling a project, you can watch this video in here, which I modeled a villa from 0 to documentation in one video. And if you want to support us, make sure to like the video, and you can get access to all of the exercise files on our Patreon page. You can find the link in the description.